This story comes from Clara, a single mother living in an old Victorian-style house she had recently purchased at a bargain price. Clara wasn't superstitious, but something about the house's history, unexplained deaths, strange disappearances, lingered in her mind. Yet, with her young son to care for, she brushed off her fears and moved in, excited to make the house her home. The house was full of antique charm, including an ornate full-length mirror in the upstairs hallway. Clara had always admired the craftsmanship, but there was something unsettling about the mirror. It always seemed to reflect more shadows than there were objects in the room. Her son Ben avoided it altogether, saying, "It feels like someone's watching." One stormy evening, after putting Ben to bed, Clara decided to clean up the mirror. It had become streaked with dust and grime, and she thought a little polish would help lighten the hallway's atmosphere. Armed with a cloth and some cleaner, she approached the mirror, feeling an inexplicable chill as she stood in front of it. As she wiped away the dirt, her reflection came into sharper focus. At first, everything seemed normal. She worked her way down, humming softly to distract herself from the strange sense of unease growing in her chest. Then she saw it. Behind her reflection, just over her shoulder, was a dark figure. It wasn't Ben, it was too tall, and its form was wrong. The figure was thin, its silhouette jagged and angular, as if its body didn't belong to this world. Its face was obscured, a shifting mass of shadow and nothingness. Clara spun around, her heart pounding, but the hallway behind her was empty. When she turned back to the mirror, the figure was still there, only closer. Its shadowy face now loomed just behind her reflection, as though it was leaning in to whisper something she couldn't hear. Clara staggered back, dropping the cloth and spray bottle. Her breath came in gasps as she tried to make sense of what she was seeing. The figure didn't move like a normal person. Instead, it seemed to flicker in and out of view, its edges wavering like smoke trapped inside the mirror. And then, as Clara watched in horror, its arm extended toward her reflection. A claw-like hand pressed against the glass from the inside, as if trying to reach through. Clara screamed, running to Ben's room and locking the door behind her. She spent the night clutching her son, too terrified to sleep. In the morning, she called a friend to help her remove the mirror. When they tried to lift it, they found it was heavier than it looked. Upon closer inspection, they discovered strange, faint etchings carved into the back of the frame, symbols that Clara didn't recognize but instinctively feared. The mirror now sits in her basement, covered by a thick blanket. Clara refuses to sell or destroy it, afraid of what might happen if she does. To this day, she avoids mirrors altogether, terrified of what might look back at her if she dares to glance. If Clara's story makes you question your own reflection, you're not alone. Mirrors have always been gateways to the unknown. But what lies on the other side? Keep watching for more eerie tales, and perhaps you'll find answers or more questions about the shadows that haunt us.